What's up, everyone? Mark Lobliner, TigerFitness.com CEO, MTS Nutrition. The online fitness community has become a tabloid of just disaster. It is literally the National Enquirer. Well, the National Enquirer is owned by American media, who does own Weeder, but that's not what I'm getting at. Basically, all I see nowadays on YouTube, most of what I see, at least in my feed, and it might be skewed, is response videos, drama videos, tabloid type videos, and just complete things that aren't really helping people reach their goals. And I think I know why. It's gotten boring as fuck. It really has. I mean, how many times can you do an arm workout? How many times can you do a leg workout? How many times can Cali Muscle put on that rhinoceros hat and do curls? It gets old. I get it. So we're constantly looking for interesting shit and beef and stuff that really isn't worth beefing about, okay? Now, in 1 week, I saw Palumbo versus Louis Marco, and I saw Palumbo versus Vegan Gains. Palumbo versus the fucking world. If you guys remember, I actually did some videos with Generation Iron. And as I read what they do, it's now all clickbait. Hell, I even texted my buddy over at the company, but when they had Ronnie Coleman on about, I believe, Dallas's death, and, you know, Ronnie just gave his opinion, and it just blew up, and they got clickbaity views, but that's what they're after. Generation Iron is the tabloid of our industry. What started off as something pretty cool, they did the Generation Iron movie and featured Phil and Kai. If you look at Generation Iron 2, which I haven't watched, you notice it moved over to more online-based stuff, more drama-based stuff, where they featured people like Rich Piana. I think that's probably right, because I think the YouTube fitness community is much more representative of the fitness community than professional bodybuilding. And that's all due respect to professional bodybuilders. They are the pinnacle of our sport, but let's be real here. If you go to any expo, which I don't anymore, if you go to any expo, the lines are going to be more for social media celebrities than they will be for bodybuilding pros, who, honestly, most people in their Gymshark tighty whities and their Gymshark and their Alpha Elite joggers, they don't know who the fuck the professional bodybuilders are past the top 3. And I couldn't even tell you 2 competitors in classic physique, and I think I know 2 guys in physique, but I couldn't name them. Sadiq, there's one. So anyway, what it's coming to, essentially, is I think that we hit a pinnacle on YouTube back in like 2013 and 14. Okay, that's when you had a lot of great information being shared. You know, Elliot Halson, his strength, you know, he did some great stuff. Elliot did. You know, you had a lot of stuff from Mark Bell, and you still do. They still do great work. But you even had the Hodge twins giving their version of what the proper information is. They'd even be sharing information about their belief in intermittent fasting. And I believe it was more information-based, right? Omar Yusuf doing his whole stuff on powerlifting. I think you had a great movement towards knowledge, and even the trolls back then. You know, your Ian McCarthy, who I actually am quite fond of now. You know, Ian McCarthy went hard on people, but Ian McCarthy also would present his own viewpoint and present knowledge bombs and help people reach their goals. And now every video I see, you don't even really see who's in it. But there's the new age where you're just giving reports. I think Louis Marco kind of pioneered that. He was being Prappa and Anabolic Chicken, and now you have Oxygen Jim, who gives these guys this magical drug that makes them grow 800 pounds in 2 days. They're flying them out to Kuwait, and then you have another clickbait story where a professional bodybuilder almost beats his ass for talking a bunch of shit. You know, I think that we're at a point where we become all clickbait, you know, and it's less about helping people, and mainly because I think we've run out of stuff to really talk about. You know, I think we've run out of stuff to really help people with. I think there's so much competition. I think the first wave of YouTubers, you know, your Scoobies, and actually Chris Jones was in that first or second wave, and you had, and the Hodge twins, you had, and Louis was in there. You had the first, remember when Louis was saying that cables didn't build muscle, you can only build it through barbells? Yeah, good job, Louis. But anyway, so, and dumbbells. So you had this first wave, and I think we just really hit hard with information, and people were really starving for information. And I think that as that community grew, people kept looking for drama. People kept looking for, you know, something beyond what the YouTube community was started for. And this has become more of a tabloid thing. And then you had people capitalize on it. And I think Rich did a great job sensationalizing things. His Bigger by the Day was completely monumental and just shock and awe. Oh my God, he's taking all that. And who knows if that's actually what killed him. I mean, how many years did he take off his life getting to that weight, you know? How much stress was on his heart taking all those drugs? I don't know. I don't know, but literally we're at a point where, hell, but look at YouTube in general. We just had a mainstream YouTube vlogger get in trouble and have to publicly apologize for filming a guy in a suicide whatever in Korea hanging himself. It's gotten to the point where everybody keeps trying to one-up another, right? And this is throughout YouTube. And then you have the fitness community completely imploding, right? Like, you have it all tabloid based. You have it all, okay, Vegan Gains comes in and he starts calling everybody out, clickbaiting everybody. And then you got the fake mercenary coming in and he doesn't even post anything of value. He looks worse than he did when he came in, and yet he presents himself as an expert, and his claim to fame is getting sued, losing the lawsuit, and then not paying it and moving to a different country. And yet he brags about it, right? And then YouTube gets to the point where Google changes its entire algorithm, and people bringing home $4,000 checks are now bringing home $200 checks. So now people are like, oh shit, I might have to get a job. And then you have people like Generation Iron, who are literally an entire company. Like, they have a beautiful office in New York. They have to pay rent on that bitch. It ain't just like me sitting in my basement here. Like, I have a real job, right? So they're like, well, what the fuck do? We can't just rely on good information. We need to clickbait the shit out of things and monetize this. And then you see people see the success and the growth. And I love this kid, Nick Strength and Power. I love Nick. I think he is the best at delivering news. I like Louis. I think Louis is a great guy. But Nick just wipes the floor with him as far as information. And Nick will give opinion, but he's such a fucking likable guy. Like, Nick can say, well, yeah, you know, so you know, I joined the white nationalist movement, and then I said, fuck this, I'm joining the Black Panthers because now I hate white people. And it's like, I still like him. Still like him. Because Nick's such a likable guy, right? I think he does a great job of that. But Louis gets involved in the clickbaity, kind of like, you know, and before he became boys with the anabolic chicken people at Oxygen, keep in mind, and I don't even know what he's doing now. I mean, I just read the titles in my feed, all right? Because I'll scroll down when I'm doing cardio sometimes. And then you have, but now he went from being old natty, you know, drug users are cheaters, and now he's an ally with Oxygen, Jim in Kuwait, who, man, I know what they're doing over there, and it's some crazy shit. But anyway, I don't know. I don't know what the fuck the point of this video is. I think the point of this video is that YouTube is a great source of information. But you need to look at YouTube for what it is and do what you can to get the value out of it to get that information. I'm Mark Goldbinder, TigerFitness.com, and that's not a game.